Hello, welcome back. I am back. It's been a little while, but I'm looking forward to doing some more crafting tonight. And tonight I'm going to be working on this. This is one of the main turrets. I believe this will be the X turret, the one on the back, on the super firing position. It is going to have the full rangefinder on top with a couple of anti-aircraft positions. Let me show you what it will look like once we're done. Something like this. So this is the instructions from the Pontos kit with the brass upgrade parts. And yes, that's Arky, you can probably hear in the background. He's hungry again already. Now, I'm not going to be building these two tonight. They'll be on another night. And these little bits and pieces that are on the gun barrels there, they're optional. They were used during the commissioning phases of the ship when they were fine-tuning the alignment of the barrels to make sure that it was firing where they thought it would be. And so these little things here are platforms where crews would tighten up different belts and shims and stuff to make sure the positioning of the barrels was just right. Now I'm building Kongo as she was in 1944, so towards the end of her career. So these wouldn't have been on the ship. So I've actually built another one of these. This is the B turret, so the super firing forward position turret. And you can see these are all the bits and pieces that I'll be building tonight. So we've got the main plastic parts there and a couple of the rangefinder pieces here. We've got a anti-aircraft platform up here with the ammunition boxes, and underneath those there's little platforms for that. We've got a railing around the front here. Oh, Arky. He's getting really ambitious now, jumping up on the table. I'm going to have to go and feed him shortly because if I don't do that, he is going to be really in the way. And we've got two brass turned gun barrels and a couple of replacement blast bags, these are called. These weren't quite detailed enough in the original kit, so the upgrade kit includes these parts as well. And there's a little ladder on the front here and a couple of ladders on the side and some plating, I believe, over the top of the rangefinders on top here, those two pieces there. You can see a ladder on the side. Oh, and a little sun shield, I guess, for the rangefinder, that little box that sits right on the front there. So that's what I'm hoping to get done tonight. It'll probably take me at least a couple of hours, maybe more. But there's no time to start like the present. Now I'm going to just let Arky be just for the moment to see if he can stay out of my way. But if he gets too bad, then I'm going to have to go and give him a snack to keep him off my case. So we're starting with the plastic pieces, and that here is M2. So I'm going to remove this one first. Always like to cut a little bit away from the plastic so that I've got some left that I can remove. If I cut too close, then it ends up leaving a scar behind. And while I'm here, I'll also take off the two rangefinders. And I believe those are the only plastic parts that I'll need for this part of the ship, for the turret. The rest is all going to be brass detail parts. So I can put that sprue aside. Now I'm also seeing that on these rangefinder parts here, we've got the little hood there, which will be replaced by the brass part. So I'm going to have to cut that off. And there's a tiny little seam there where it was joined. I'll just sand that a bit. And of course we've got the nubs where I've removed it from the original, from the sprue. It's the same on both pieces, and on the main turret we've got a ladder there that I'm going to be removing because I'm replacing that with brass, And there's a ladder here on each side as well. You can see there's the other one there. And yeah, this is not going to work with Arky being right up in my face. So I'm so sorry. I've just started the stream, but he's just not taking over an answer. So I'm going to have to be right back. So I'll be back very shortly. Alright, hopefully that'll keep him happy for a while. Okay, let's get on with the cleaning up, modifying of the parts. Now, where did I put the scalpel that I used for that? Can't see it right at the moment, so I'll just use this one. Alright, so we'll start with the ladders. Actually, I'll start with the plastic leftovers. They're called gates. It's where the plastic flows into the part. I think I might sand that instead because there's not much of it left. Oh, where's my sanding sticks? It's been so long since I've done this, a couple of weeks, that I've kind of forgotten where everything is. Yep, there we go. Alright. Try and do it so you can see. I think I'm going to need my magnifying glasses for this. There's a little bit of a lip there as well from the edge of the piece. Okay, that looks, yep, that's flat. Alright, I might, rather than use the scalpel on this, because this is just a flat surface, I think I'll just sand the ladder off. A little bit at a time to make sure I'm not going too far too fast. Oops. Yeah, gotta be careful I don't sand the parts that I want to stay. I might actually use a file for that. I think the sanding, I'm affecting too much of the area around. There we go. Finish it off with the sander. You know, I reckon I would have done better with the scalpel. Okay, that ladder's definitely gone now. Let's finish it off with a finer sandpaper. Oh, come on, what's the drawer stuck? I must have flipped something up while I was rummaging around in there. There we go, shake it around, that opens it. That's 1,000, that's a bit too fine. 400's a bit too rough. Is there a 600? Yes. Well, maybe this the 100 would have been just right. Sorry, 1,000 would have been right. Yep, they can work through. There we go, they're starting to look smooth again. That's better. Yeah, that looks like native plastic now, pretty much. I mean, there's just a little bit of variation, but that's going to get covered up in the paint. Alright, let's try this side with the scalpel. I've been working with the brass parts for so long, it's almost forgetting how to do the plastic. The other scalpel blade I was using was curved, and I found that to be better for removing the surface stuff. So let me see if I've got another curved blade in my kit. Looks like I don't. Bummer. Surprising that there was only one in this. Alright, I guess I will make do. Just got to be sure I don't rush it, because when you rush things, it's when you make mistakes. There we go, that's easier. The conventional wisdom for using a scalpel is to always make sure it's sharp, and that's usually true, but I find that with removing plastic like this that's on a flat surface especially, a blunt one actually is a bit better because it doesn't dig in, doesn't cut down into the plastic, it doesn't bite. You can sort of scrape it over the surface a bit easier. A little more perhaps. Let's give that a sand, see how it's looking. That's looking better. It's only picking up a little bit of a raised edge there. Excellent, I can finish that off with the 1000 grit. Alright, that side looks pretty good too. Where is it? Focus there. Alright, now all I've got to do is take off the ladder on the front there, and the gate that's there. There's a little bit of flash here which I'll just get rid of. Yeah, I do actually have one more plastic part, and that's the base which goes here. But I'll do that in a minute. This is positioned in a way that I think scalpel's probably the only way to do it without ruining edges. Because I want to try and keep that lip that runs across the top there, you can see it here as well. I want to try and keep that sharp. We're listening to some World of Warships background music. This is the the more chill collection of tracks that is usually played in the dock, and when you're in a mission and there's no battle going on. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's also good because it's they let you use it, because otherwise people who are playing the game online wouldn't be able to use the game music. There's lots of YouTubers who do World of Warships content. If you are a World of Warships player, I recommend the Mighty Jingles, or Rear Admiral Jingles. I'm not sure which name he goes by when he does World of Warships, but he's actually an ex Royal Navy officer, or non-commissioned officer maybe. I'm not sure what the terms are, but yeah, he served in the Falklands. So it's cool to have that perspective from a professional. How's that looking? Needs a little bit more, I think. Let's just hit it with a little bit of sandpaper. So it's still a little bit raised. The sandpaper is good because the dust collects just in that little line there, which is showing that it's still a little bit raised. I'd like to get it as flush as possible. And this is something that I have done and will have to do for the remaining 2 turrets after this one. That looks alright. Yeah, that's good. There's a little bit on the front edge there. Maybe scraping it's not going to work. Alright, that's better. It's not quite clean enough at the top there. Because I want that edge to be really crisp. Sorry for the silence, but it takes concentration to do this. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I don't want to go too far. Yeah, that looks nice and sharp there. Excellent. Down the front here. I could do with a little bit more. There we go. just a little bit of a scrape, and that was enough to fix that. Excellent. All right, that's the top of the turret done. Now we'll do the two rangefinder parts. Those should be nice and quick and easy. See that white there? That's what I was talking about when I said if you cut it too close you can leave a scar. Now it's not cut too close, you can see it's just sticking above it, but that can pull out of the plastic. It can leave a hole behind. So yeah, you need to try and do it a little bit at a time so that you don't end up having a hole that you have to fill. Okay, I think that's good. This one's a flat surface, so we can just run it along the file, and that will be sure to have a flat finish. You can see how that's a bit uneven there. There's a shiny bit still. That's showing that the two halves of the mold didn't quite perfectly match up. So sanding it down will make that perfectly flat. Close enough, I think. Don't know if you can really see there, but it looks flat now. And let's do the other side. Still shiny at the bottom there, so a little bit further to go. There we go. Alright, I'll just finish it up with a bit of 1000 grit. And the other side. Alright, that looks good. Now I am seeing this piece here. Let's see if I can focus on that a bit better. You can see that square? That has got a part line right through the middle of it, which is not easy to work with. So it's also not quite perfectly met. Like, it looks like one part is a little bit further off than the other, a bit to the side. I reckon I could probably get away with just sanding that rather than trying to carve anything around it. Okay, that's taking care of that that seam. So let's finish it off with 1000. And let's smooth it off. But that square is still there. I might just scrape the dust out of the corners. Might use a trusty old toothbrush for that last little bit of a clean. Yeah, that's good enough. That's one. I might actually trim this with the side cutters. I might, one day when I have the funds for it, I might get myself a better pair of nippers, of side cutters. These are quite thick, and it's not as easy to get a clean cut close to an edge with this than it would be with some of the, oops, no, it wasn't too close, but when I pull back a little bit, yeah, when you look at that, you can see how it sort of squeezed it in rather than, where's the focus? Further back. Yeah, it sort of squeezed it in at the bottom rather than cutting it through, and you can see how it started to turn white, the plastic. That's because it's a thicker cutting surface and it's not super sharp. That's what you need to pay, you know, $80 for a pair of nippers for something like that. That'll do a really good job. Alright, I think we can just sand those two sides to clean it up. Almost there. There we go, that looks pretty good now. Just a little bit of shiny there, but it's close enough, I'm not going to worry about it. And now to do this side. The famished monster is back again. Ark is returned and he's meowing again. Hopefully he's just wants to be around and he's not going to try and jump up on the table again. Yeah, that looks alright, and yeah, that does too. Alright, let's just do the end here. No, don't get up. That looks better. Alright, now to polish it off a little with the 1000 grit. Yep, that's good. Yep, and just a little on here. Okay, I think that one's done. So when I glue these, which I will shortly, they will go on like this. So let's focus that again for you. That is the range finder. That's what they use to figure out how far away it was to the target. And they had many of them all over the ship, but each pair of super firing turrets, the forward and the aft turret, sorry, the deck level turret and the super firing turret, oh, the camera's gone, let's return that. They were, the top one, the super firing one, was the one with the rangefinder, and they communicate the range to the one below. So the lower turret doesn't have those holes for the rangefinder to go in. Now while I've got this here, I am just going to cut off the base piece, which you can see here. I believe they're identical, so I don't need to worry about which one I use. Alright, I think we can use the rougher sandpaper to start that off. Now this, I believe, just fits inside the base of this, like this. So that means none of it will be visible. So I don't need to be too fussy with how clean this ends up being. Let's test fit it. Beautiful. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. Alright, that means it's time to glue. So I'm using Mr. Hobby thin cement, and the way this one works is that you put the pieces together, if you can, and just fill up the brush and just touch it, and it will seep in with capillary action and fill the gaps. And this is rather than a glue, this is a cement, and what that does is it actually melts the plastic a little bit, and then when the plastic solidifies again, it solidifies into one solid connected piece. So cement bonded pieces are actually, presuming you push them right up against each other, they're very strong bonds. Okay, so that is not quite dry yet. I was a little bit rash there. Let's just put a little bit more in that gap there. And again, it doesn't matter too much in this case because this won't be visible. I should have stuck these on first. Alright, now just checking the front. Where's the scarf and the stuff I removed? It's usually a bit darker. Yep. There. So that is towards the front. Because I'm not sure if these are symmetrical forward and backward. And it's curious, there's a little lip there. And I wonder if that is meant to go right in there, or if there's... What's the other one look like? Oh, it gets hidden by the brass parts anyway. Alright, yep, I'll just glue it in like that. So I'm going to glue it from the underside, just to eliminate any chance of there being any glue stains that show through the paint. And I'm pushing it forward into the front edge there, because it could go, there's a little bit of wiggle room, it could go further back, and then we'll end up with a gap there. I don't want that, so I'm going to push it to the front. You'll still see a little gap at the back, but the thing is, these are designed to really be seen from the front. Alright, and now the other piece. And you can see the glue does leave, hard to see with the focus, but the glue does leave a little bit of, you can see it's a little bit shiny there. Oh, you can see the gap at the back there too. That shininess generally gets covered up by the paint, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so that is all the plastic parts that we'll be using. Now, if I was going to be using the barrels and the blast bags that came in the kit, I'll show you what they would have looked like. So that's the barrel and a blast bag. And sort of going in here. In fact, I can glue that because I'm not going to use these, but just to show you what it would have looked like. Yep. And these are designed, you can see it's got a little hole in there, a divot, and that goes onto those horizontal posts in there. So you just would have pushed it in, like that. And one advantage to using the stock stuff is that you can raise and lower the barrel. Now the blast bags that come with the upgrade kit don't have that facility, which is a little disappointing. It makes it a bit harder to pose them, but I think you'll see when I show you the comparison, the blast bags look so much better in the what's it called, the resin parts. You can see here, for example, to allow you to pivot it, they've got an indent cut out, and that indent is, well, it's not fitting very well, and it's also quite unsightly. So I would rather have it look better than worry about being able to pose it exactly how I wanted. So I'll take that off. Now, I don't know if I'll do the barrels first. The problem with doing the barrels first is that they will stick out and I'll bump them. And I'm afraid that I might knock them out of shape, or, you know, otherwise damage them, because they're, you know, they stick out. It's easy to catch your finger on. So I might start with doing the armor parts that cover the rangefinder tops. So let's have a look at those on the instructions. So yeah, that's them there. So I've got one top piece, and I've got 5-6 ribs that go underneath, and I have to take the top piece and I have to roll it to curve it slightly. You can see the curvature there. That's to match the curvature on the top of this, the rangefinder. You can just see there's a slight curvature on there. So I've got the photo etch sheet with me here, and I'm looking for part 702, 704 and 703. I'll do 702 first. Now, where is it? There we are. So you can see these have already got grooves in here, which is where the 703 crossbars are going to go. Alright, let's just check if there's any burrs on that. Just a little. I'll just sand that off. Okay, that's good. Now, this is probably too thick to roll that curvature, so instead I shall grab a drill bit. This is a small, stiff piece, so it's challenging to roll. Maybe I need a softer surface to roll it on. It'd be easy to roll if it had to go on this axis, but it has to go on that short axis instead. It's not working. Alright, how else can I do that? Maybe I'll just try and bend it around this. Oh, it's got grooves on both sides. Oh, I didn't remember it being like that. Okay. Is there a side to it? They look deeper. Yeah, they are deeper. So that'll be the inside. Alright, let's see, how can I do this? Maybe I can just press it. No, that's not going to work. Oh, this is tricky. How did I do it last time? Can't remember. I like this truck. This is a good one. Maybe I can push it with my finger on a drill bit. I'm just doing this. I don't know if you can see very well, but just gonna push it on like that. I need a better bending tool for this. It's a little bit bent. I need a cavity that's shaped like this that I can push it into. Have I got anything like that on this? I mean, this is kinda round at the back there. Let me just mute that. Is that working? Ugh, kinda, but it's a bit, yeah, it's uneven. Ah, geez, if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up breaking this on those scored lines. You can see there, it's got a crease in it. Well, it doesn't look too bad on camera. Let's just try the other end and see. And if I can get the basic curve in, then I can try and tweak it and smooth it. That actually worked quite well. Right, let's try that again on the other side. I've been looking at getting some rolling cylinders for this kind of thing, but they're all machined aluminium, and that's or steel maybe. That's kind of expensive. This little tool that you can see I'm using here, this cost me $50, so it's definitely not cheap. it's starting to be a bit more uniform now. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, it's good enough, I think. I don't usually like settling for good enough, but I don't know if there's any other way I can do this, and the more I keep doing it, the more it's going to get bent out of shape. How does it fit on there? Yeah, it's not great. It's a bit better. Alright, I'm calling that good enough. Give my fingers a rest and I'll start work on the cross pieces so you can see what it looks like there. So that's the underside. Alright, so we need, where's my scalpel? There it is. So these are the cross pieces, or the lengthwise pieces. So it looks like there's a front and a back to this. This edge has got a little notch. That's because one edge has a piece that goes right at the end. Alright, the first piece is always the hardest on these cross pieces. On any sort of cross piece, that is. Okay, here's the rest. Fortunately, all these are symmetrical, so I don't have to worry about which one goes where. So the curvature is down that way. So that goes into there. I guess you can't really see that. Alright, I think a bit of thick glue might be good for this to start with at least. Gonna need 2 hands for that. So I'm just going to put a tiny dab of glue on that notch. And put this on top. There we go, it's in the notch now. Alright, now that the first one's done, I can just work on it on the bench. Don't have to hold it, both pieces in my hands. Excellent. I think I might put some white paper down just because it's hard to see these tiny parts on the cutting board. There you go, it's a bit clearer, isn't it? Alright, I'm going to just cut out the remaining, what, how many is it? 5 in total, so remaining 4 pieces. Oops, bent that a little bit. There we go. Okay. Tiniest bit of glue. That's all it needs. We'll see the tweezers, they're a bit finer. There we go, that one was easy. Oops. Maybe those tweezers aren't so good. That was the one I bent a little bit. Go. Alright, that's 4 of the 5. And I think I'll leave the 5th one until after I've stuck this down to this. Because that will give me a little bit more purchase, something to hold on to. So, checking the instructions. Yep, the last piece goes against the flat edge, not the curved edge. Alright. Glue again. It's a bit much glue, but this is on the underside, so it won't really be seen. I'll just put a line down the middle. Turn this over because the curved side's on the other side. The curve is too steep, doesn't match. Yep, the glue's already dried. Alright, I really need to get some curved blades because that would make this easier. It's not going to work either. I'll put more glue on top. Again, it's underside. I don't care as much I don't think we're listening to all the warships anymore. It sounds like Genshin Impact or something. Alright, I'm just going to be inelegant and put some super thin straight onto the part. And that's enough to spread through all of them, I think, and extra. Didn't quite get to this end. Oh, wow. That's too much. Unfortunately, I can't really do anything about that. But again, it doesn't matter too much because it's on the underside. Let's see if I can dip this piece in here. Oh, I'm putting the glue on the wrong side. It goes on the top. I've glued the tweezers together now. And my finger to it. Damn it! Come on. Okay, looks like I didn't leave any skin on it. These are really fiddly, tiny parts. I think I should have put this on first because it's got to go under. Oh, there we go. Ah! Maybe I'll put a bit of thick on there. Probably sticking my finger to it again while I hold it down, but well, it's not going to get any more stuck than it is already. Okay, I think that's good enough. Not super happy with that. The bend in particular is not smooth. But that's one done. Now to do the next one. I'll just get some of this glue off my finger. Oh, camera's gone again. Sorry about that. I'm using an old Canon M, EOS M, and it has an automatic screen off time of 30 minutes, so I don't know how to get around that, and I don't have any other camera that looks as good as the M. The alternative would be a webcam, which is not great. I might stick this on straight away so that I know where it is, so it won't get lost. Aki! No! He needs to learn that this is a no table. He's allowed on my desk, but not on my craft bench. That should be enough to hold it. Make sure it's square. Okay, there we go. That's pretty awful. Oh boy. Oh well, I guess you could say it's battle damage. Hopefully it's not going to be something you really notice that much when you're actually looking at the model. But I'll try and do a better job with the other one. Alright. Actually, I'm going to mix it up. So I'm not doing the same thing over again. I am going to build one of these anti-aircraft platform. Okay, this music is getting weird. Oh, it is still World of Warships. Alright, let's get through to the next track. Alright, so that is, get this out of the way, parts number 718, it's 729, 718, okay, so it's got the corner cut off. Okay, whew, getting a little hot. This headband that holds this on gets pretty sweaty. Gross, I know, sorry. Alright, and we need 709. So that piece doesn't actually have any folds. But 709, which is this one, that one goes underneath it. So this is sort of like the walls and the base, and the other piece is the floor texture. Not sure why they could have just textured this, but I guess there's a reason. Okay, there you go. Now we fold all these 90 degrees and yep, 90 degrees up. These grooves, incidentally, are going to have braces, supporting braces put into them, and that is very fiddly. Oops. Got to bend those together. Okay, so that looks like where ladders come in. Maybe, maybe not, I'm not sure. Okay, now the first piece, this one, goes inside there. Now I'm not going to test fit it because if it falls in, it's going to be hard to pick up and get out. So I will put glue in there. And this one's going to need a fair bit of glue, so I think I might take it straight from the tube. Just spread it around a little. Try and get it to the edge so it doesn't peel up at the corners. Alright. Beautiful. Maybe a little bit of excess glue, but that should be fine. Got a little bubble of it coming up there. I think I'll just let that be because it does contract somewhat when it dries. Alright. Now we have, oh boy, how many is there? I've got, oh, it's reflecting in my face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that there? You know what? I'm just going to look at the piece itself, where the grooves are. They're meant to be. Yes, they are meant to be in this corner as well. So, alright, let's start in the middle of this side to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whew. And these pieces are tiny. Where are they? Yeah, it's these. It's all of those tiny little triangles. Alright, let's see if I can do this without losing any. So that's 4, 8, 12, 15. 15 will do to start with. Got to be careful that these don't fly away because they are really small. Okay, that one just did fly away. Hopefully they've given us some spares, or I can find that one. May as well do them all now. Okay, I think that might be all of them. These stick to your fingers, even though you don't mean them to. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I thought I had 3 more than that. Oh well, I think I got spares. At least I hope so. So yeah, let's just get started. Yeah, most of these unfortunately are going to be not visible from your perspective because I've got the camera in front of me and it's easier for me to work at this direction so I can see rather than working that way. Alrighty. I think our corner piece is going to be the easiest to start with. Hardly picked up any glue then. These are so tricky to handle. I've done lots of these already on other kits and of course on the front turret, which I've already done. Okay, one down. You can just see it in the corner here. Alright, I may as well go around clockwise. See if I can do 2 at a time before the glue dries. Okay, yeah, that worked. You can see they're starting to go on there now. Also, just so that you know how big these are. Let me turn that up a little so you can see. Yeah, there we go. They're about 1.5 millimeters long, or if you're using Imperial, what is that? 30 seconds of an inch, so about 1/16 of an inch. Hey, Ukami, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, these are some very small parts. I'll show you what I'm working on, because we're working on one of the turrets. This is one that I've already done, and you can see we're working on the anti-aircraft emplacement on the top there, and you can see all the braces in the corner there. So far on this one, We've done the plastic parts, and I've done one of the armor panels on the top here, but I didn't do a great job of rolling it, so it's a bit uneven. So I'm a little disappointed in that, but it is what it is. I reckon I might have been a bit ambitious thinking I could get the entire turret done this one stream, but we'll see how I go. Yes, I hear you, Arky, and I just fed you. No! You tried to bite my elbow. Doing a lot better than I'd be doing. Well, it's very kind of you to say, but I don't know. You've got patience, I'm sure. I mean, I've got ADHD and I can do it, so I'm sure you could do it if you wanted to. That's the thing. Do you really want to? It's actually going a little bit faster than I was expecting it to. Oops, that piece didn't have enough glue on it. Alright. My building material is a lot bigger and a lot of ABS plastic. Yes. Are you referring to your Lego? Because Lego is very cool, and I do enjoy playing with that. Oh, I think I might have dragged a few of those away. I've got to be really careful because I don't have an unlimited number of them. You are indeed. Excellent. Yeah, Lego's fantastic. I was looking into doing Lego, but I think it's, for me, I could only afford to do one hobby because Lego's just as expensive as this hobby. And I think, oh, I never actually put glue on there. I like the level of detail and realism in model kits. And that isn't what Lego tries to achieve. Lego tries to achieve a fun building experience. And this is fun, but in a different way. Probably not the way that would appeal to the audience that Lego appeals to. So, I like the realism. So, this is the preferred way for me. Okay, we've got 5 pieces on now. And that one's a little bit bent out of place. There we go, I think that's good. That excess glue has dried and it hasn't shrunk. I'll leave it for now, but I'll try and cut that off later. Built the Ahsoka brickhead yesterday at work. Fantastic. I didn't know there was an Ahsoka one. Ahsoka's fantastic. I'm looking forward to her series. Rosario Dawson, I think his name is, did a pretty good job of her in The Mandalorian. So I've high hopes for her doing a good job in the series. And I believe that there's a lot of story that is there to be told about Ahsoka. And of course, having a great character is a good place to start as well. I'm pushing my luck and I'm going to try 3 at a time. So how have you been, Akami? What's up with you? Anything new and interesting happening in your part of the world? Oh. Sorry, I'm hiding it from you, but I kind of need 2 fingers on this. Excellent. Doing 3 worked out. Going smoother than I expected, which is great. I'll read your message in a second. I've just got glue on here now, so I want to work with it while I've got the working time. Okay, that's the whole front done. So we're just under halfway. Okay, been off from streaming a fair bit in the last month and a bit. Had my fiance up at her mum's place as her mum had a cardiac episode. Oh no. So DJ has been up there looking after her. I get to look after the chickens and the quails while she's in Seymour. Segoy. I read Seymour and was about to say it as I read Segoy, so it came out as Seymour. But Segoy, I'm glad that's good. Sorry to hear about your future mother-in-law, though. I hope she has a swift and full recovery. I think I saw you streaming again, was it tonight? So glad that you're back at it. I hope you had a good stream. It was Elite Dangerous you were playing, wasn't it? Is that going well? Still enjoying it, obviously? Excellent. Coming together. She had to wear a heart monitor early last week and had to explain when they were looking at the results that one jump in heart rate was due to finding a huntsman. I can understand that. I mean, they don't bother me too much, but I certainly know that some folks are quite upset when they see a large spider looking back at them. You may, I was playing a bit of Elite earlier tonight. Still working on the games you want to stream. Yep, fair enough. You may notice that I have recently made affiliate, which is really exciting. So I haven't really got any channel point rewards up yet, but I do have channel points, so you can start accumulating them while you watch. If you've got any suggestions for what you think might be good redeems, let me know. Because anything that adds to the fun and helps people to stay around would be great. Okay, so I've got 2 cut that I've already cut, and I'll need to do an extra 1, 2, 3. So I haven't lost any between them. Congrats on affiliate status. Thank you. Let me show you the emotes I've put up for subs. Although I also recommend checking out my about information because I've added to that, and I honestly don't recommend subbing to me because I don't always manage to stay active. So this is the first time I've streamed in 2 weeks. So If you want to have a regular streamer, then spend your sub money elsewhere. But if you're okay with that and you still want to sub, and when I say you, I'm talking about a general you, not you specifically, then any subs would be very much appreciated. Oh, the music has stopped. I only have one emote at the moment. Oh, I thought that everyone who gets affiliate gets the 6 that you start with. Maybe not. Let's put some music back on. Let's just go back and play that again because it's in an hour and it's an hour and 3/4. It's plenty of play without it sounding like it's looping too much. Alright, let's continue with the bracing. Need to burn off a bit of that. My candle's getting very low now. I might have to go and get a new one soon. Oh, I just put 3 pieces of glue on and I've only got 2 pieces to go on, so I'm going to have to quickly cut another one before the glue dries. There we go. The last 3 are generic. Oh, okay. You may have the slots available, but I'm only using the one as far as you're aware. Have to check that out. Yeah, worth checking out. I got 6 slots. I don't know if it's maybe because I started streaming a long time ago before I made it to affiliate and there's extra slots for having been on for a certain amount of time. I'm not sure. But yeah, you should probably have more than one. Oh, there goes the camera. Still haven't figured out a way to make that stay on permanently. Alright, before I go cutting any more pieces, let me just see if there's any that I can find on the desk mat. No, I don't think there are any there. Alright, I have to cut some, so I need 3 more, I think. So 1, 2, 2 more. Okay. Oh yeah, I cut that extra one just a moment ago. This music reminds me a bit of the June soundtrack, the June 2020 movie. Very good movie, very good soundtrack. Alright, just 2 more. Where'd that last one go? It was right there. Ah, on the back of my finger. And we're done. Well, with this little bit of assembly. Now, I have to do the bottom. I need to work out how to have second audio input in OBS so that I can have a game soundtrack playing during the live stream and have a different set of music for the VOD. Yep, it's in OBS and I think it's in advanced audio settings. I haven't done it myself, so I couldn't really point it out to you, but I'm sure you can find it. It's a very commonly needed task, so you probably find lots of information online about it. Okay, so now these pieces, they are asymmetrical. At least these two are longer, but I think these are all the same length. Because yeah, it's an octagon, so they're all the same length, but this one goes back here. So, okay, we've got one cross piece. That goes across this way, front to back. And then we've got other pieces that come out, and that's duplicated. And even though there seems to be a circle here, which in other pieces is where you put a post, it looks to me like there aren't any posts underneath this one, which makes sense because you wouldn't really see it under there, but it does mean that it's going to be attached to the surface of the turret by only these two pointy bits. So I'm going to have to put quite a bit of glue on there. It's crazy what the bots will detect as potentially being an issue. Who would have thought the blue down noob would be a huge issue in the 21st century? Wow. I would not have picked that. Oh, and now an extra piece shows up, unless that's fallen off. Yep, it's fallen off. Yeah, I mean, I guess the performances are copyright, but how good is the bot that it can tell the difference between different performances? I don't know if it really can possibly be that good. Glue's getting a bit sticky and dry now. So far I've had no trouble with using the World of Warships soundtrack, and I figure that's because they know that a lot of people stream the game, so they couldn't exactly have copyright claims on everyone uploading streams or pre-recorded videos of gameplay. So I'm going to stick with it for the time being, at least until I start building a kit that's nothing to do with warships. I've got a couple of those in my plans, and if you actually look at my about page, you'll see what my future plans are. You can also see galleries of past models that I've built, as well as work in progress galleries for those past models, and a work in progress gallery for this model, so you can see what I've done so far. Alright, that was a nice big dollop of glue, so that should stay on this time. I think that's what it is as well. Performance is still under copyright, even though the piece itself is public domain. Yeah, I guess you have to go and get it performed by someone who doesn't care about their performance being monetized, or perform it yourself. Alright, it's getting loose again. What pieces do I have? 722 and 721. Alright, where do I find those? $731, $729. Ah, here we go. 722 and 721. Alright, we'll do one basket first. So that's a 720. Oh, actually there's an additional piece, isn't there, for the longer one? Oh no. Oh, that's weird. This piece, the same piece that goes... Oh, sorry, you can't see it on the camera there, can you? The same piece that goes here, so it's going to be a bit short. I guess that doesn't matter too much. Blue Danube, electric guitar skull. Just have to let it play. Yep. You could probably search for public domain recordings of it. I'm sure they would have it. Alright, 722. Sorry for blocking it. And we need 4 of... Oh no, 723. It is a different one. Okay. We need 3 721s and 1 723. 723 is there. 721 is there. Okay, easy to tell them apart. 2 holes, 3 holes. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm guessing you wanted the Blue Danube for your approach to a space station and docking in Elite. If that's the case, it's a perfect, poetically appropriate piece, given the connection to 2001. That seems the obvious reason for you to use it. And if so, I commend you a taste in movies. Yeah, that's correct. How's the audio, by the way? I am using a shotgun mic now instead of the lapel mic. I found that every time I looked down, it would get too loud, and every time I looked over this way, it would get too quiet. But the shotgun, it's pretty much the same distance the whole time. So I hope that's giving a better experience. So I'll put the long piece on first. It plays if you're using the auto docking feature. However, you are able to turn the music while auto docking off, and so you've done so. Oh, so that's part of the game, part of Elite Dangerous. Well, that's weird. You'd reckon that they'd have the rights to use it, and therefore users who play it would have the rights to stream it. And I saw you say the audio is good. That is great to hear. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, that glue job was a bit messy, but I wouldn't have been so slapdash about it if it was on a visible surface. Let's try another technique. Instead of putting the glue on the surface, dragging the piece through the glue. You can do that with these slightly larger pieces. With the smaller pieces, they just get completely overwhelmed with the glue. Yep, that worked alright. That's a bit easier and a bit cleaner. I got to say thanks again for coming by tonight, mate. It's really good to have some company. Last time I streamed, a couple of weeks ago, didn't have anybody in the whole stream. which was a little bit lonely. It was when I was playing some MechWarrior 5. Not that one, it's this one. And the last piece, it's the bigger one. And that's done. With Star Wars games, you get tagged for the music. Damn, that's so frustrating. Alright, now on to the next one. That went really smoothly, which is great. Yes, I hear you, Aki, but you're not getting any more food for a bit. I keep checking the camera because with the white paper, which really does help to show stuff, it's not stuck down, and I don't have the red X that I did to help me center it. So I keep checking to make sure it's in the field of view. So I was having the audio muted on your Lego Star Wars games. That's so frustrating. Could you at least listen to it yourself? I suppose... No, I was going to say you could use a separate audio channel in Twitch, in Streamlabs, but it's built into the game, so I guess you can't do it that way. No, Aki, stay down. Has that music stopped again already? That was definitely not an hour and 45 minutes. While live streaming was on, just muted on the VOD. But is the soundtrack in the game on a separate track that you can choose to mute in OBS? If so, that'd be cool. Oh, it didn't go back to the start. Okay, now it's gone back to the start. Okay. Well, this is going surprisingly well, which is great. It's always nice when that happens. Yeah, I didn't used to have audio playing while I streamed, and I looked back at some of the recordings and it didn't work. It was so solemn and quiet when I was trying to pay attention to building, and that continual silence was just really uncomfortable. So I figured World of Warship music is good. I believe that you may be able to do so. Fantastic. I really hope so, mate, because that would be... it would really hamper your enjoyment of the experience if you can't listen to that beautiful Star Wars music while you play. Glue's starting to thicken up again. And the last piece for the underside. Okay. And that is an anti-aircraft nest complete. Alright, I'm going to let it dry before I do anything else with that one. before I try and clean up some of that glue, and before I stick it onto the top of the turret. Alright, so I guess it's time that I try to make the other one of these. Here is the cantina and no music for you. That's really disappointing. And thank you. Glad you like it. Alright, so that was 7:02. What time is it? I'm getting hungry. 10:54. Where was that again? Yeah. Now, you weren't here to see me struggle before, but I had a really hard time bending this piece because it's got to be bent along the long axis, and it's really quite stiff that way. Is that a bit of K-On on your table? If you're talking about the image, the picture frame here, yes, Yui is in there. This is just a 64 pixel square pixel art image frame, an LED screen essentially. And I've made a whole bunch of anime related GIFs that I like, and I've put them in Cycle. And yes, it is GIFs. The original creator said that it's called GIF, and I think if anyone gets to say what it is, it's the original creator. So there. It's hard to see on camera, but I'm trying to bend this piece around a drill bit. Which is Struggle Town. So yeah, that character that you're seeing on screen now is Edelgard from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, which is fun if you don't mind fan service, because there's a lot of fan service in that one. Come on. Oh, it's done practically nothing. This is a really tricky piece to bend. I need to bend it so that it is like a little boat shape. Very shallow, but smooth. It's hard on the fingers too. That's Hestia from Danmachi. Maybe if I put it on top of the drill and press down on it on either side, that might work. My fingers are too fat for this. What about using tweezers? Oh, that could work. Yeah, that's going to work. The difference between summoning a demon lord and a lemon lord depends on whether the spell uses cursive text. If you're familiar with the history of anime, summoning a lemon demon lord is probably something you don't want to do unless you like tentacles. If you know, you know. Okay, that is better than the first one. The curve isn't consistent throughout, it's a little bit of a V shape, but I like it better than the other one. So, time to make the cross pieces. They are up here. Need 5 of these. Okay, I have Urotsukudoji on VHS cassette somewhere in the house. Make sure the kids or the missus or anyone else you don't want us to see it doesn't find it. Okay, time for a bit more glue. I've never actually seen that one because I didn't think I would enjoy it because it looked really violent and pretty grotesque and not in a good way, but it is definitely a cultural touchstone, I think you'd call it. It's had an impact on the fandom, that's for sure. Okay, that's the first one down, so I can now just stick the others on top. I do not think we have a working VHS in the house anyway, so no chance of that happening. Good. Don't forget the cover art though, that could be a bit incriminating. Keep flipping it over. Okay, 2 more. The late 80s and early 90s were really the Wild West era for anime, yes, especially for Western releases of it. I remember in the media it got a negative rap because of things like Urotsukidoji and La Blue Girl, and even Akira was something that upset a lot of media people and conservative parents, I guess. And I think, honestly, that actually hurt anime fandom in the West because people heard about it and thought, oh no, that's bad, I'm staying away from it. When there's, you know, beautiful things like Studio Ghibli, although I'm not sure perhaps if they were producing content back then. Let's try and get these perpendicular. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, let's stick them on. Even though we had access to Astro Boy, Kimbo, Star Blazers and the like beforehand, which is a great representation of anime. Absolutely. Yes. Those are all my favourites. I grew up watching them. I was an anime fan 20 years before I knew what anime was. And it's thanks to those series. Of course, as well, using the English titles, there was Robotech and Battle of the Planets, Mysterious Cities of Gold. You mentioned Kimber, didn't you? Yes, you did. Even, believe it or not, Inspector Gadget. I think that was an Italian-Japanese collaboration, if I remember my animation history correctly. So yeah, I was already primed to become an anime fan by weekday afternoon ABC television programming. Used to run home from school so that I got home in time to watch Astro Boy. Ah, I got that backwards. It's this way around. Come on, center. Okay, that glue's not going to hold, so I'm going to have to do what I did before and put in a drop of the super thin. Oh no, no. The super thin dries so quick that if you get it in the wrong spot, you've got to act fast. Okay, I think that's gonna hold it for now. Nope. Oh boy. Now my tweezer's glued together. Need a bit of flame to fix that. This candle's just literally holding on by a thread. Ow. Should have expected that. Burn off that excess glue. Start again. ABC had a great selection on weekday afternoons. It absolutely did. Do you remember James Valentine? He used to host the kids section for a number of years. He was so cool. I really liked him. And it turns out how he looks today is a bit of a doppelganger for me. Had someone pointed out to me a couple of years ago, and usually when, you know, someone says, oh, you look like so-and-so from such and such, you go, oh yeah, I don't see it. But James Valentine, yeah, I see it. He looks like me. Or maybe I should say I look like him. Oh. Sticking to the tweezers again. Now it's sticking to my finger. Ah, boy. Ah, Jesus, one or the other, finger or tweezers. James Valentine on the afternoon show. Yep, that's the one. If you want, you can search for a picture of him today and tell me if you reckon he looks like me. At least there was one photo that was used in an ABC promotional picture, I think, taken a few years ago. That, yeah, the similarities were quite striking. If I can get this in the right position, then I can just drop some thin on it. Not quite. Yep. Always tried to catch Bell, Planet Starbazers, Mysterious Cities of Gold, which helped me be interested in history and archaeology. Ulysses 31. That was the other one. I forgot about that one. Yeah, they were all favourites of mine. Ulysses 31 was great. I believe it was a French-Japanese collaboration, or just straight up French. Maybe it was French-Canadian. I actually once found the opening song for it in French, and it was quite a trip to hear it in a different language. It was actually not even just a translation of the lyrics. It was a completely different song, as is often the way that they do it when they translate to English. Okay, that looks close enough. I'm probably fussing over something too much that won't really get seen, because this is the underside. Alright, let's see if a drop will hold it. Yeah, French-Japanese collaboration. I'm glad I remembered that correctly. Come on. It rains or it pours. Again, it doesn't matter too much because that's on the underside. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. And should I put the thing on first, or should I do the... No, I'll do this first, I think. I'll glue this on first. Channel 10 had Robotech on Sunday mornings. Yes! I remember that well. I loved that series. Aside from Battle of the Planets and maybe Astro Boy, I think it was probably my favourite cartoon that was on TV at the time. This actually sits here quite well. Ah, there are posts. Remember I said that there should be posts here? I'm guessing those are them. Alright, let's put on a big daub of thick, because it's only going to have a small contact point at the bottom of these. And when I say a big daub, I mean like 1 or 2 drops. Hopefully that'll flow down onto the surface. Oh, come on, it was sitting so well before. There we go. Alright, leave it be, let it flow. Oh, camera's gone again. Early Bird Breakfast Show had Transformers on the Saturday. Yep, I remember that. I didn't watch that as much for some reason. Maybe I had something on with like swimming or school, like sports or something like that. Maybe Little Aths or something, because I don't remember watching a lot of Transformers, but I did watch a lot of Robotech, so maybe that's why. How long have I been going? Hang on, let me check the Twitch streaming page. 2 hours, 12 minutes. Alright. I don't think I'm going to get this whole thing done tonight, but I've definitely made good progress. Alright. Let's stick on the rangefinder cover. That's gone all gooey again, so I might actually just, once again, just put it directly on the model. That should be enough. That looks about right. That's pretty symmetrical. Excellent. Alright, we'll let that dry. And I will now put on the rangefinder, I guess they're sun shields. Oh, that sounded a little bit like Mandalorian then, that woodwind instrument. Okay, so these little things here, they fold up into a little cone-shaped box, and they are the shields that go on each side of the rangefinder, pointing forward. Now, I don't know if those grooves are meant to be on the outside or the inside, so I'll have to check that. Oh, this one's different. This one here has one hole. That little gap you can see there is just the fold line, but it's got one hole, and this one has two touching each other. It's wider as well. Huh. So they're not symmetrical. I'll have to look at that too and see where it goes. 716 and 717. Alright. Okay, so let's look at these. 716 goes on the right, 717 goes on the left. And 716 is the one with the larger hole. Oh, now which way does it fold? I can't tell. The images aren't high enough resolution for me to see if the grooves are on the inside or the outside. Well, I'm going to put them on the outside because it'll add a little bit more texture. So the eye will make it look, or it will look to the eye like it's bigger than it is. Just putting a little crease in it before I fold it. And I think I'll do that with a pair of tweezers. 2 pairs. A pair of a pair. Probably won't be able to see this because I'm holding it up above the surface. So sorry about that. Sorry about the silence, but this takes concentration. Okay, I'm going to need to put a dab of thin on there. Oh, this is my favourite track. I need to open up the tines on that a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's the front part folded into a little box. Now I need to flip up the back. There we go. And I'll put a dab of glue on that as well. And glue it to the tweezers, of course. And that left residue. Gonna have to burn that residue off. A little bit more. All right. Alright, there we go. Tiny little thing. And that went on the right side. I think some thick glue for that. We're making progress. Okay, there we go. That's not actually flush, is it? So we've got the little sunshade for the rangefinder there, just underneath here on my finger. I think the grooves on the outside looks better. Looking really good, thank you. It's hard to remember that these things were so gigantic. This is bigger than my house. If I put the ruler up against it, on this scale, a human being is around about 5 millimeters tall. So, you know, 5 millimeters tall, that's, you know, just the edge, the top edge of it. Put a human being inside here, and you know, this shielding sort of comes up to your waist. So there'd have been room for like 30 guys in there working the guns. I do need to get rid of that excess glue. Maybe I can take it off now with the scalpel. No, I don't want to do that. How about I grind it off? Where are the tools? So I've got this great little battery powered drill type thing, Dremel. And since I can't really push too hard on that without risking it falling apart, I'm just going to grind it down. Oops, a piece fell off. I see where. Alright, I'll get to that in a minute. This is working really well. Now it doesn't have to be too clean, because the anti-aircraft battery is going to go on top of that, but I have to have it level, otherwise it wouldn't sit flat, it'd rock around. Perfect. Excellent. This was a good investment. It was only like 15 bucks, I think. Alright, so let's not lose that piece. This piece came out of here. So I need to put a bit of glue in there and put that piece back in. There we go. Oh. Spoke too soon. Okay, that's got it. A little bit out of focus for you, sorry. It's close enough. Yep, I'll leave well enough alone. Alright. I'll do the other rangefinder shade. I honestly don't know if it is a rangefinder shade, but it's on the rangefinder and it's protects the optics. I've seen photos and technical drawings that show the lenses for the rangefinder inside this hood, so I'm guessing it's for protecting it from the weather, from the sun. Listening to this music is making me want to play World of Warships again. Sorry this part is sort of off camera. Actually, maybe it would be easier to do it down here. And push it down onto the surface. Takes a lot of focus. It's a little squished. It's a bit rhomboid instead of square. Just trying to bend that back into place. There we go, that's a bit better. Yep, that's good. Oh, a little bit pushed in there. That's too far out. Definitely a bit rhomboid again. Squeeze these corners in, make it a bit more square. Come on. But too far. Okay, there we go. Gonna need the glue again just to hold that in place. Where did it go? There it is. There we go. And now to stick it onto the turret. This one is more square than the other one, so there's not really an obvious up and down. This one's a bit too low. Never mind, the glue's dried already. So it's a little bit asymmetrical, but it's not really something that you're going to see. Can I hold it? You can see them both there, just. Alright. Now what's next? So, I've done that. I haven't done the barrels or the ladders. Okay, so let's do the ladders next. They're both 746, and what's on the front? Doesn't say. No, it doesn't say anywhere. Alright, well I'll look around 746 on the sheet and see if there are others nearby that are a little bit smaller, because that's what it is. It's a little bit shorter. So it was 746, wasn't it? Yep. 741, 748, 746 and 747, perfect. Alright, now for these, I'm definitely going to use my bending tool because it's too fiddly to bend these and keep them straight. It's very easy to bend them out of shape if you don't have a straight edge for them. Needs to go on a little bit more. Not that far. Come on. Okay, that'll do. So much easier using this tool than trying to bend this with just tweezers. Alright, that's one. Other side. There we go. Got it. It's easy to forget that these ladders are meant for human beings to climb up. So on the same scale, a human being would be right underneath my blade here. The scale of these ships is just insane, and this is a 1/350th scale. There are also 1/700th scale models available, and I've never tried them because I figured they would just be way too fiddly. They also probably don't show the detail as much because you just can't show details on pieces that small. Almost done with the ladders for this turret. Alright, 3 ladders folded. Now I have to glue them on. So yeah, the front one just goes between the 2 barrels. Just might put a little bit of extra on top. Is that clean? No. Ooh, that was the thin, so it's obviously dried. I'll need to get some more thin. Now that I look at that on screen, it looks a little bit lopsided. Let's see if I've still got time to maneuver it. Yes, just enough. Okay. Now it looks straight up and down. Yeah, pretty good. Hopefully that glue will be hidden under the paint. It certainly loses its shininess. It does have a little bump though, and there's nothing you can do about that really. Okay, so these ladders go just in front of the rangefinder. Now the last one I did, I put the glue too low for the top part because I thought it would end before the... Oh, they're different lengths. No, they're not. I thought it would end before that ridge, but it didn't. So I'm going to just temporarily put one of these over the top and see where the glue should go. Oh yeah, right at the bottom and right at the top. That's easy. I'll just put some thick on the bottom because that's going to be less visible, and I'll use thin on the top because the thick will hold it in place while I put the thin on. If I was to put a drop of thin on, it would be dry before I got anywhere near it. Sorry, this is off camera, but I need to get the angle right. That looks alright, doesn't it? Yeah. Alright, time for some thin. Just gonna touch the top legs with it. That looks a little bit too close to the rangefinder. How does it look like in the instructions? Maybe a 0.5 millimeter further away. The bottom's dry. Alright, it's staying there. Have done my Duolingo for the day. Oh, fantastic. What language are you learning? Come on. It can be tricky to break the surface tension of the super thin to get it to flow. Now it's interesting, you can see underneath the anti-aircraft emplacement, you can just see there it's sort of gone a little bit white. That's the fumes from the super glue making a mark, because I used fairly large dollops there. Funnily enough, Japanese. Oh, I don't think that's funny, considering that you're a fan of Japanese pop culture at least. That makes perfect sense. Oh, camera's gone again. How are you going? Are you starting to become, well, I guess you wouldn't be fluent yet, although I don't know how long you've been doing it for. But are you learning lots? Are you winning, son? Yep, that looks all right. Needs a tiny bit more, I think. Just on that other rung. There we go. That's got it. Brilliant. We're really getting there. Alright. Next up, we've got these 4 stands that hold... Oh, there we go. And I'll focus again. These 4 stands, which are these parts, they hold the ammunition cases, which you can see here. So I need to build them, and on the other turret that I made, I didn't realize that each of them is specific because of the slope of the turret, and also front to back is different. So I need to be precise about which one I put where and make sure I've got them the correct orientation. It's helping to reinforce what I learned at uni and introducing new words as well. Fantastic. I've never actually taken Japanese, so all I've learned is just words that I've picked up from watching anime, which is not in any way fluent, but it's nice to be able to hear a couple of phrases every now and then and understand them. Why is that flickering on the webcam now? I wasn't doing that before. Huh, sorry about that. Let me see if I can just fix it quickly. I've got an idea what it might be. Doesn't have a refresh rate. I'll try deactivating it and reactivating it. Nope. Configure video. Anti-flicker, there we go. No, that's worse. Oh boy. That's bizarre. Both anti-flicker frequencies give flickering. Maybe there's something going on with the power at the moment. Anyway, my apologies for that. I guess we'll just have to put up with it for now. Alright, so it's 7:12 through 7:15. Where are they? There they are. Nestled in some of the other parts. Actually, that light does seem a bit fainter now. It's a bit odd. Okay, I'm gonna just do those two first because I don't want to end up mixing them up. So that was 7:15 on the left, and they are in the opposite positions on the turret. And the taller piece goes on the outside. Yep, that makes sense. And it slopes forward. Okay, so that's the correct orientation. Okay, that's one. It's so springy. And that's two. Let's do a dry test fit. No, they were on the inside. Okay, that seems to fit right. Let me turn it around for you. Oops. It does look like it sits flat though. The top of it's flat. Nope, that's turned around now. There. Yep, that looks good. Alright, so can I dip this piece? Oh, that's the thing. Okay. Okay, I think we're good there. Yep, if you look at it edge on, back here, you can see it's parallel with the bottom of the anti-aircraft battery. Excellent. Now the other one, oh, glued together again. Wrong way around. Yep, that's it. Great. Well, that was easier than last time. I might just reach in and put a dab of thick glue inside those there, so they're held on a bit tenuously right now. So if I can reach in and put a little dab of glue in there, that'll just reinforce it a little bit. Because if this gets bumped and knocked off at some point, I'll never find the pieces again. they should do the trick. See it there, quite nice, coming together. SJ Linky, welcome. Thanks for coming. That is a small scale Kongo. It's actually not too small. It is 1/350th scale. So the really small ones are 1/700th scale, and they are tiny. But this is the hull. So too small to really, too big to see on the desk cam. So on the selfie cam, you can see. Whoop, there we go. It actually is a decent length. 45 centimeters, something like that at this scale. It's a bit overblown on the light. It's not an ideal way to show this one because it's too big to fit on the cameras. But you will see that this turret will sit in here. That ladder on the front there gives you an idea of the scale too. Oh, there's a bit of glue there I should clean up. Bit of excess. Let me just take care of that while I see it. I went to all the effort to clean the parts before I glued the stuff on, so I want to keep it looking good. So it's not small scale, but it's definitely small. It's fiddly. I mean, if you compare it to model aircraft and tanks, they're usually like 1/74th or 1/35th. So this is 1/10 of the size of a 1/35th scale tank. So imagine this turret being 10 times that size compared to a tank. So a tank is probably gonna, sit on top of that quite nicely. You're a 1/87th or a 1/50th, 60th scale modeler, but you know me with your Gunpla builds. Gunpla builder, nice. I have yet to build a Gunpla, but I actually have got something that I've been meaning to show Ukami as well. I'm not sure if he's seen it. Just one second. I have this. So it is a VF25. It's flipped, but sorry about that. The Runkali one. So it's got transformable. It can go Batroid, Jerwalk, or Fighter, and Runker can wear the Batroid, ride the Jerwalk. But the fighter is just a clean single piece, so single mecha. I can try and show you the sides. You can see some of the different configurations, but let me move the light back a little bit. It's a bit hard to show you there, but you can see that there's a few variations in how it can be put together. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. Oh, Linky, you are friends with Ukami. That's great. Thank you for coming by my stream. Hopefully you enjoy your time here and you might like to come back sometime. So yes, I'm building this turrets today, and I've done it from scratch. So I've come a long way. I've done another one for the previously. So you can see everything's upside down for me because it's on camera, it's flipped. You can see I haven't got too much more to do. I've just got 2 more stands for the anti-aircraft magazines, and then the magazine boxes to go on top of that, and the handrail, as well as the cannons and blast bags. Oh, and I guess there's this underneath too, these little, I don't know, reinforcing plates or something to go underneath to stop the barrels from depressing too low. Oh, I know you. Hello, SJ. I won't say your name because it's not public on the username, but it's nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, next two stands. This music is sounding a little bit religious, isn't it? Not my favourite. If you're wondering, we're listening to the World of Warships soundtrack, or at least the chill tracks from it. Give them a little pre-bend. Now that it's hit midnight, I must be off to bed. Have a great rest of the stream. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish this, but I might finish this soon because I'm getting tired and hungry. So just got the car packed for Sounddown Motel Trend Hobby Show that's happening this long weekend. That sounds fun. Oh, enjoy yourself there. Yeah, that should be a good time. But yes, thank you very much, Ukami, for coming by again today. You are my most regular supportive viewer, so I'm really grateful for the ongoing support and presence and company. Because if it wasn't for you, I'd be talking to myself the whole time I'm here. Got to keep streaming though, so we can slowly build up the viewership and get a more active chat, which is really the main reason why I want to stream. I want to chat to people, make friends, have fun. So I'm glad I got affiliates so that I can give people cool stuff like point rewards, but I don't really need subs. I'm not here to make money, I'm here to make friends. Alright, let's see, which side does this one go? No, it needs to go around the other way. No. That seems... it's leaning back. No, it's not. That's actually flat. Okay, good. That's the correct orientation then. Sorry, that's off camera. I've got to kind of hold it close to my eyes to see. Alright. So this piece is going on here. Well, I still get the follow alerts when you go online. Oh, great. I'd forgotten that you had followed, so that's fantastic. Thank you very much. So I guess that does mean I will see you again, which is wonderful. This really doesn't sound like World of Warships music, does it? No, that's backwards. There we go, that fits better. Alright, and you can see those from the front. 4 stands for the magazine boxes. Now, to see if I can save myself some time, have I already got some magazine boxes made? There's one. Two. I don't think I've got any more though. No, those are the winches. Alright. We can stick 2 of these on right away, and I'll have to make 2 more. Alright, this will probably be best with a bit of thick. Not as thick as some. If you remember that old ad. There's one. And there's 2. Alright, let's make 2 more boxes. So I need to get another sheet of photo etch for that one because the boxes are on a different sheet. They're pretty much in a sheet all to themselves because there's so many boxes on this ship. There we go, you can see them all there. Lots and lots and lots of them. Fortunately, they're pretty quick to make. Pending which selection of the World of Warships music is played at either at the staging area or the menu selection. But not a battle mission event unless they recently did an upgrade of the game music. No, I don't think so. I haven't played for a little while, but I don't think this music is different from what they normally have. But yes, this is sort of dock music. Okay, these should be pretty quick and easy. Too far. Trying to turn it on its end so I can expose the joins that I can put a little bit of glue on. There we go, that should do the trick. Need some more thin. Might need to push that lid down a little bit more, but I'll put some glue on the other side first. Oops. Gotta be gentle with this stuff. There we go. Oh, no, needs a bit more time to dry. Still not quite. Alright. 1 of 2. That was too far. Go. With my 1/150th, 1/160th N scale Japanese Titans, the magnifying headset would help with maintenance operations. Yes, it definitely does help. I think the lens I've got in at the moment is a 3 times. Any more than that and your working distance, it becomes too close. But any less than that, and at least at this scale, I find that it's not sufficient magnification. These are actually a gift from my dad. They were a spare set that he owned. He is or I suppose he was, he's stopped doing it now, a gem faceter. So he would use magnifying headsets and loops and stuff like that to get all his facets meeting, to get the best results. Yeah, and this was an extra one we had, and when he knew I was starting to do model making, he thought that I would find it useful, and he was right, and he very generously gave it to me, which always helps, particularly when you're starting a new hobby with lots of tools and stuff that are helpful to have. Where'd the glue go? There it is. I think you could probably buy them for, I'd guess, $20 to $40, depending on how lucky you are and how cheap you go. Which direction are the latches? This way, okay. May not be quite enough glue on that one. Yep, that seems good now. Glue on the tweezers, burn that off. Oh, that's backwards. This piece doesn't want to sit in. That's good enough. All right. More progress. I've got contacts via a few hobby stores, so that would be easy to source out, but also have contacts via the Mecha Workshop crew. I think between those two contacts, you should have no trouble getting your hands on a pair of these. Alright, how much more do I want to do before I finish for the night? All that's left is the barrels and the handrail. Oh, and the things underneath the turret, underneath the guns. I might just do the handrails and these little bits. These little things that go underneath the barrels. Do they have a number shown? Apparently not. Oh, there they are, down the bottom. 707 and 708. Here they are. Oh, there's two. I think I was wondering why there was only one of the four used, but that's how it was meant to be. This is a very jazzy soundtrack song. And just make sure I've got one for each side. Yep, that looks right. Alright, those two are folded now. Time to attach them. So they go under there. There's not really any surface to attach them to. So I think I'm just going to have to use the strength of the glue itself rather than resting it on anything. Yep, that's right. That's a bit off center. Oh, looks like I didn't quite get enough glue on that. It does not want to stick. There we go. That's better. Alright. Put a bit of thin underneath. Do you feel comfortable working with etched brass kits? I don't know if comfortable is the word. I enjoy it, and I love the results that I get from it. It's a bit tedious and very intense focus, so it's a bit tiring to do. But I would think I'd much rather do it than not. So if that's what you mean by comfortable, then yes, I think I am. And as far as my skill level is concerned, if that's what you're referring to, I think I'm getting better with each kit I build. That's one of the reasons why I actually built this and some other kits that I've built first, because my dream build is the Yamato, and last year I managed to get my hands on the Yamato 1/200th scale, so I wanted to get comfortable using the brass kits and building other kits so that I could try my hand at building the glorious Yamato. And after this kit is done, I think I'm confident enough to be able to do that. But I will be, before I build that kit, I'll be building another kit that I got first, Catalina flying boat. My dad loves a Catalina. He's a big fan of aviation and World War II stuff. And he and I went to the Catalina Museum up in near Swan Hill. And I bought the kit there. It was the only one in stock, so I was happy to get that. And I know he wants to see me build it, so that's the next one for me. Alright, I'll just make sure I'm using the correct piece for the handrails. It doesn't say, oh there it is, 701. And that is 701. Alright. As I have to do some work with the HO scale train kits rather than just buying RTR ready to run units. Okay, I'm not sure what that terminology means. I'm not very familiar with the Gundam stuff. But the thing I love about the brass is the detail it gets you. It's stuff that you can't get in plastic at any scale. So you can certainly make beautiful models with just plastic, but for me, particularly with ship models, aircraft is not quite as critical, but because ship models have so much stuff on them, to look in scale, I think it really needs to use brass if you want to get the most possible out of the model. Oops, I'm doing the wrong one there. But of course, not everyone chooses to use brass. It is very challenging and time consuming. I'd say 90% of the time I'm building this model in the end will be on the brass pieces. So I wouldn't judge anyone who chose to just build plastic. Alright. I think I'll use tweezers for handling this one because it's quite fragile. Ready to run is that I don't need to build it, just run on the rails. Well, scratch build kits, some like to model ships with both brass and plastic. Wow. Scratch build, the term that I'm familiar with, is where you build stuff not from a kit, but from raw materials, like sheets of styrene and so on. If people scratch build Gundams or mecha, that's super impressive. I'm getting quite tired. I think after I put this railing on, I'll finish for tonight. Okay, so it starts at the back, which will be the middle here. And it doesn't quite meet up at the front. You can see here, they actually don't connect across the top there. Oh boy, I've taken the wrong part out. Okay, you can see here, this piece goes all the way around, but the railings on the turret type I'm building, there's two of them, and they only go up to there. So I'm going to have to put this piece aside for when I build the other turrets, and hope I don't forget where I put it. I've got a little shelf that I put pieces like that onto. Alright, so what piece do I need then? Where are the handrails? Ah, here we are. Those two. And if I look above, you can see where I've taken the pieces out for the last time I built this type of turret. So that's certainly the right place, the right piece. They're not symmetrical though. Bugger. Alright. Which side goes where? Okay, they do have it indicated on this wide shot. So 705 goes on the right side when it's facing me. Alright. I really should learn port and starboard bow. I always have to convert them in my head before I say them. It's not second nature yet. So that's 705. And the long part goes at the back. So we've got bends at every post by the looks of it. Alright. I'm going to have to sort of do this from my point of view. Angle's a little bit steep there. Too shallow. If I keep bending it too much, it's going to snap. This one's a fairly sharp bend. There we go, and that's a bit of a shallower bend, and that is the last piece only, the last segment. Okay, now I can probably stick down one end of it and work my way forward. I think it'll have to be this end because if I get this wrong, it won't line up. I also do model trains as well, so very broad range, model trains to gunpowder and Macross mix. Fantastic. I would love to see some of your Macross builds. Any idea where I'd be able to do that? Alright, hopefully I put those dobs of glue the correct spacing. Yes, good. Oh, this is tricky. It's been bent down, that's why. Oh, I bent it too far. Let's try that again. Okay, I think in this case I'm going to use a little squirt of accelerator because they're very small contact points and the whole thing is being held on by that. Oh, that stuff stinks. I really hate it. So yeah, quick spray of accelerator cures the super glue. Okay, well that looks, the bends were pretty close. Haven't taken photos of them, but I have them here since the Manifest days. Oh, fantastic. Manifest, that takes me back. I remember meeting you at one or two of those. That piece stuck too early. And that glue dried already. Gosh. Sometimes you just have seconds to work with it. I think I need some fresh. Come on, stick. Let's focus that a bit for you. Hopefully that works. Okay, I think that's third one stuck now. So 1, 2, 3. It's bending all over the place. The railings are always very, very tricky and very delicate because they're so thin and so little contact surface with the model. First time in 2007-08 at Melbourne Uni with Mark. Yep, I remember that. Melbourne Uni, gosh, that was so long ago. Okay, it's slowly coming together. Just got 2 more posts to glue down. Where does that one go? That's folded down. Just back from that corner. Excellent. That one went on well. Excellent. Alright, that's the railing on one side done. It's a little bit bent, a little bit wobbly, but I'll wait until that glue has cured and then I can manipulate it a little bit. And now the other side. And after that piece, I think I shall finish for the night. Needs a bit more. It's too much. Yeah, looks good. That is pretty good. Yep, that works pretty well. Alright, let's get the first piece on. Is that the end of the music again? It is. This is the third time I've gone through this playlist now. So how long has I been streaming for? 3 and 40 minutes. 3 hours 40 minutes. This is the longest crafting stream I've done yet. And I'm feeling it in my back. Hashtag old man things. A little more on that second piece. There we go. That accelerator will evaporate off in a few moments. Three RC6, yep. Okay, the remaining accelerator should fix that right away. Oh, and it fixed it on my applicator as well. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, it's gonna intersect the box. So I'll have to do a cheeky little bend around that. Alright, one last glue and I am done for the day. Not gonna stick. I guess the glue dried. Oh, that was a bit much. Oh, it instantly dried. There must have been some accelerator left. Damn it, now I've got to cut it out. always get the direction of focus wrong. Every time. Alright, hopefully with that, the accelerator is gone as well. Very nice. Do you paint it after being built? Yes. Painting is a skill that I have yet to really become competent in, I think. But if you go to the About page of this account, you will see links to my past builds. And I've got 2 warships there, a destroyer and a cruiser. And you can see my paint job on those if you're interested to see what it looks like. That just doesn't want to stick. Maybe I need some fresh glue. I didn't want to have to put another drop out because it's nearly finished. I like seeing some of the end results from my fellow builders who are from PH and JP, Philippines and Japan, I assume. Yeah, I follow a few modelers online, mostly YouTube subscriptions. There's one guy in Korea who is an absolutely phenomenal model shipbuilder, inspirational. So yeah, I have a long way to go to get to his level, but I do enjoy watching his videos. Stick, damn you. Yay, at last. Okay, there we go. We now have railing all the way around. That last one I probably stuck a bit too far back, but honestly, I'm tired enough that I don't care. Alright, let's get a final shot for the YouTube thumbnail. It was front heavy when I first built it, now it's back heavy. Very, very nice for the turret. Thank you very much. I'm pleased with it so far. It's come together reasonably well. Maybe it would be easier if I put it on the ship. There we go. Yep, that'll be good for the thumbnail. So everything by the barrels. Not bad for one stream. I'm pretty pleased with that. Let me take these off. Whew. That's sweaty work. Oh yes, Aki, you know I'm finishing, don't you? Looking good. Oh, thank you, Stojo. Thanks for coming by. You caught me just as I'm finishing up though, I'm afraid. This is what I got done tonight. The whole turret, except for the guns and the AA guns on top. So there's a pair of those to go. And each of those takes about half an hour to an hour to build. So I didn't do that tonight, but everything else you see here was all completed in this stream. So I'm pretty happy with that. And it's come out looking pretty good. It'll look better, of course, once paint's on it. That'll hide all the glue and any inconsistencies with the brass and so forth. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how that's come out. So sorry, Stodgio, that you just got here and I'm just ending. But I guess that's the difference in our time zones, isn't it? So yeah, Linky, Stodgio, and earlier Ukami, thank you very much for coming by, folks. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And I will probably stream some more again, doing some more of this building, because I haven't done that for a few weeks now, but I enjoy doing this again. It's all good. You're so late that it's a reasonable hour here. Have a great night. Yeah, it's 1:45 now, AM. So definitely bedtime for me. But yeah, thank you so much for coming by. I hope you all had a good time, and I hope to see you again sometime in the future. Take care, everyone. Good night.